Hello everybody, this is Toys R Us, and for this new figure showcase and review we're going to be looking at the Transformers Legacy United. This is Deluxe Class Autobot Sideburn from the RID universe. We're going to have a quick look at him in both of his modes, help you decide how you want to display him. We'll have a look at the accessories that come with him and how you can use them in both modes. We'll have a quick comparison with the original owner of this particular mold, and also a quick comparison with the actual original figure, as well as a few of the other figures that I think we will probably end up getting with reissues of this particular mold. So as I start to pop all these away, I'd like to remind anybody who's not subscribed to the channel, if they'd like to hit that subscribe button for me now please, because it really will help me out. And the other is to thank Hasbro for the incredibly nice gesture of them lending me this figure to be able to do this particular review on. Right, before we get started, let's have a look at the packaging. We're already used to the Legacy United lovely logo and artwork. Now, because he comes packaged in his robot mode in there, we've got the alternate mode there, we've got the full size artwork there, and the bust on the top there. You've probably already noticed I've uploaded the tutorial for the transformation separately, and we can see here that it does take 18 steps and that the bumper and everything does come part of the accessories. Right, let's have a look at the figure then. And again, you can probably see now when I bring the original in straight away that a lot of people weren't happy with the alternate mode. As soon as we had Shadow Striker, they knew we were going to get Sideburn, and in a way I can see what they were saying. You know, this is a beautiful alternate mode. On a separate note, this is probably one of my least favorite Transformers figures ever made due to the ridiculous transformation process, but I see what people are saying now. To be honest, I haven't held these two in my hands like this, and you know, there's a drastic difference, let's not lie, in these particular alternate modes. So whether they're trying to change it slightly, same as with the Prime universe, they're giving them a slightly different look, but there's no denying that there's a huge difference in how these cars look. The same principles are still the same. Of course, you've got the main engine there, you've got some translucent yellow windows, and of course the back bumper does indeed come off as well and act as a weapon. With regards to this, the wheels go backwards and forward, they normally do, no problem, but they are all pinned on individually. The roof sometimes pops off, you've just got to press it down. It's much sleeker than that, it's much flatter. This of course is a separate piece which does come off as well. There's a little bit of detail there. I know that people like toy hacks, to be all honest, it's not one of my things that I enjoy, but I do completely see where they're going to release these and give you loads of extra decals to be able to give yourself more of an RID look. So I can see that definitely happening in the future. So side by side, you can see there, let's move this out of the way now. Side by side, you can see that the original again is longer, it is a little bit bigger, and to be honest, I actually like the paintwork with this little bit of sheen inside it. And the tires, yes, they are rubber as well with the chrome inside, and you can never beat that, in all honesty. Right, let's move the instructions, we'll have a look at them in a second. Last few comparisons with this particular figure, and then we'll bring in some, of course, others. I'm really pleased I've got two of these figures now. One I can keep in robot mode, and one I can keep in the other mode, because with all of my videos, again, if you're new to the channel, I do have to transform each figure in between each take, or each part, shall we say, and it can take a long time. So there he is compared to the Optimus Prime from Earthrise in both particular modes. Very quickly, let's get rid of that. That is another deluxe figure, which again, it's probably about in proportion with. And then one final alternate mode figure that I've got here ready is of course the Stranger Things van. But to be honest, there isn't anything more to say about this particular mode. In fact, I haven't put the gun on the top. Yes, you can pop the gun on the top, and yes, it is blast effect and port compatible. So very quickly, I just want to add that bit there, and that's all there is to say about him in his robot mode. Sorry, in his alternate mode. We're going to come back and have a look at him in his robot mode. Okay, we're back, and he's in his robot mode, and to be honest, when I get this figure, this is the way that I'm going to be displaying him. Again, I like it, I think it looks good, and to be honest, this is where I think this figure definitely reigns supreme over the original. I'll bring it in a minute, and again, and I'll give you a number of my reasons. Yours might be different, and of course that's the beauty of this fandom, we've all got our own opinions. So the figure itself's got a lovely head sculpt, which is of course very different to the Shadow Striker. It will spin all the way around, it will look up and down as well, you can see it's able to do that. The shoulders will move all the way out to the side, I've kept the roof part attached to it. You can take it off if you want to. I might as well, just to show you that it pops off like that. You are restricted though, it doesn't go all the way around. You've got this whole huge sort of back kibble, which to be honest isn't anywhere near as bad as the one I'm going to show you on the original. But you do also have the swivel at the shoulder, the flexion at the bicep, the wrist swivel. There is, there goes the original. There is also a waist swivel. The legs will go all the way out to the side to give you the splits that way. They'll give you the splits again if you just lift up these wing flaps, or whatever you want to call them. You can't call them hip skirts, but you can position them however you want. But you can get the splits both ways with this. There's a swivel underneath the thigh. There is, yes there is, it's a very tight knee rock, and the same with the heel. The heel's got, sorry, the ankle's got this swivel with the heel lifting up and down as well. Right, so yeah, you can see these, you can have these up or down, and to be honest you don't really notice too much about the missing decals and the missing detail, whereas you do with the alternate mode. There is a lot more detail, which we saw in the first part of this video. So you can pop the gun in his hand, which to be honest, it's a little bit of a copy of the original. That's the original, but of course the original one is chrome, and in fact there we go, sort of like it. You can see that they have given a little bit of a homage to it. In fact, crazily enough, can you? I just saw the little hole on the side then, and I just wondered if you could attach. No, you can't. I thought you might be able to attach the original to it. They've both got the similar, I suppose, bumper attachments, right? It's a bit weird that I've seen, and again, it's not one of my things, that you can attach that there as well. I don't know why you would want to do that, I'm going to be completely honest. This is the other version though, which did have a firing mechanism, which is a little bit different, but this is the original. And pros and cons, as I say, with these. This one is really, let me get the waist swiveled around, to be honest. There we go. Let me get that the right way around. Oh, I've got the heels the wrong way around. That's what I'm trying to do, because that's from the transformation. That's the biggest, not let down, negative for me for the original, this figure here. The transformation process is separately uploaded on a video if you want to see. I'm going to be honest, just how awful it is, and it's not fun whatsoever. The other is trying to get this to balance. I know a lot of people complain about some of the new figures, like Springer and him not balancing. Look at what this whole figure's set to balance on, and over the years, it just doesn't really do it. You've got to position everything. There is way more kibble going on. These don't come off. Whereas, well, I suppose they do, you can pop them off, they're on ball and sockets, but what I mean by that is they are not supposed to come off at all. Whereas obviously with the others, with this new particular version, in fact, let's bring these together so you can see the head sculpts, just to see how good they've managed to, again, go with that. Of course, you can see that there's chrome on there, and I do always love chrome, but these, as I say, I pretty much try to keep these the same as the originals. So this is going to be rather difficult to try and attach this in, because it does move around quite a bit. I'll just have one or two attempts at it. If it takes any longer than that, I will move on to something else. That's the best way I've found to pop it in, but even then, as you can see, it's still a bit of a pain. Ooh, and I've just knocked that one over typically. So yeah, you can see where the homages are. There's way less kibble. There's a little bit more articulation, I think, in the new one compared to that. The original one's accessories are better, I've got to confess that, but a lot of it is a great homage to that particular figure. Whether I prefer the color scheme on the new one, I don't really know. Let's move the original out of the way though for now, and let's bring in the original use of this particular mold. As I say, as soon as we had this particular figure, we knew that we were going to get this. The original figure for Shadow Striker is this though, so big difference in the color scheme, but because we've got Shadow Striker, I wouldn't be surprised. Now these are BotCon and special editions. These aren't even the main line versions of this particular mold, so I wouldn't be surprised if we got any of these other repaints as well, because again, we know that Hasbro and Takara love a repaint, and to be honest, they're quite clever. And as I say, with is the new mold, which is much easier to look after and transform, etc. I think that it would be a good addition to them, because then you're going to cater for every single person's wants and needs. And you know, some people, as I say, don't like a repaint, but a lot of people do, because that way you can cover loads of bases with as many figures as you want. And as you can see, I'm just literally putting up loads of figures that I've got at hand to give you an idea of the size of this figure. Now, not all of these are going to scale together, that's the point. These are just all different sized figures to give you an idea of how big he is. But I think I've pretty much covered. There is everything to say about this particular figure. It is out very soon, and again, mine is on pre-order as well, but thank you to Hasbro for the loan of this one to do this review on for you. There you go, guys. Let me know what you think in the comments of this particular one, and I'll see you soon.